listening to another episode of the Streets of Success podcast with Frank Jalil, and we got one of the best roofers in the city, and we had a lot of roofers on here already. We got one of the best roofers in the city, my friend Ernie Pace. Ernie, how you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't know what well, I'm like third pick on the roster, huh? You had Rosario up here. Yeah, my boy Big Joe.
Yeah, so the way I'm gonna give you the rundown on it real quick. Pull your mic up real quick so we can get you. We don't want to miss you.
All right.
How did that go about? Wait, we had other roofers before. Was it just Big Joe and
Tefano?
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, so Rick actually reached out about starting a podcast. So I was like, dude, come on the podcast and I can show you everything why I get you on the podcast. So two birds with one stone. And he actually got a pretty interesting story. And he got a big following. He got us a lot of views. But Big Joe, I've been hearing about Big Joe's story for a while.
That's my man. That's my guy.
Like, I've been hearing about Big Joe since before I even started business. And everyone just talked about, like, he's a solid dude and he got a great story. Like, I forget who told me. They said they seen him on, 1 year they seen him on the side of the road with a sign. And then the next year he got, like, all these trucks and all.
All these gold chains, too.
All these gold chains, yeah. He's like
man.
The godfather of roofing, right? You can call him.
I think Rob Nolfi got that title.
I think Nolfi too. I heard good things about Nolfi.
Title, because at one point we all worked for Nolfi, and started breaking out. And my one buddy says it all the time, like this.
It's like a trading academy.
Yeah, he said I blame Rob Nolfi for all these fucking roofers because everybody that worked for Rob Nolfi went and got a truck and an LLC.
How many people? I could name 5 probably off the top of my head. I'm not even in the room.
I think it was Big Joe first, then me, Mark Riley, Matt Sterner, Pat Suarez.
Who's that other guy? Mike something roofing. I see his stuff all the time.
Mikey Shaw?
Yeah.
Mikey Shaw. I wasn't there. All the guys I named, I was working with at Big Joe at the time. At Rob Nolfi at the time. We all worked together, man. Yeah, that was there were some wild days working over there.
I'm just looking like I don't know none of these guys.
It's all roofers in the city.
I know my man Big Joe.
Yeah. And Tefano.
And Tefano, yeah.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, so we usually start off from where you at right now, but no, that's where we end off at. We start from where you begun in life, your whole story, schools, neighborhood, everything.
Where you born at?
Okay.
Household, like basically, like what was like as far as you can remember back until like.
As far as I can remember back,
until you started going
bright light, dude. Right? Nah. So I was born in Kensington. I grew up till about like 8 years old at what was it? Emerald, Ontario. I went to Webster School for a little bit. Then we moved over to where my sister lives now. And dude, it's like the land of the lost.
See if you could pull up the mic.
Pull up the mic right here. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear it?
Yeah. All right.
He keeps pushing it back.
So I guess they call it Melrose. It's right in between Frankfurt and Breisberg. It's right off Aramingo.
Right, but what's that gas station?
Royal Farms.
Royal Farms.
Oh, okay.
Royal
Okay.
Farms.
So that's in
over there.
Philadelphia. It's like northeast. This is like for people that's not listening. Like
Northeast. Do you consider
no
might
Breisberg
not be
northeast?
northeast.
Nah, northeast.
No.
I feel like you
But
go
people
up.
say Frankfurt's northeast.
The lower
they?
northeast.
Parts of Frankfurt is northeast, not the whole Frankfurt. The end of it, like away from
Where the
north.
terminal?
By the
The terminal's the
seminary?
furthest part of it. The terminal's
the cemetery.
yeah. What's the noming? Like that's the furthest
Yeah,
part.
so that's probably considered northeast.
Lower
Yeah,
northeast.
lower
So
So what's
northeast.
Frankfurt? Just Frankfurt?
Frankfurt's Frankfurt, man.
It's not north.
Nah, lower northeast. I guess that's like saying how do you consider Kensington Northville? I mean, I guess you go up Lehigh and Allegheny.
Kensington is like north. They used to call it Kensington, North Philly, Baylands. That's what they used to call it. Like
Yeah, but I feel like that's a
one.
certain side. How you're going to call Kensington at Frankfurt Ave, North Philly? It's
I
so
heard
weird
it.
that all right, we're getting geographical on
Yeah.
this motherfucker. Anyway, I grew up. I went to a small Italian parish in Frankfurt. Right at Frankfurt and Church, Mata della Rosa. It was a small school, man. I think there was like 12 kids to a class.
Dang.
Yeah,
Private school?
Private school.
Catholic?
School. You know what I mean?
So real quick, it was you, siblings.
Yeah. So I have a brother and a sister.
Okay.
I went there. Dude, childhood was good, man. We like big family. We all went down the shore during the summer. We used to rent out a whole hotel. It was like cookouts and shit like that.
Mom and dad both in the household.
Yeah,
both parents in the household.
yeah. I'll tell you later on how that fucking played out. But whatever. Down the shore, I grew up. When I was younger, I played sports. I played baseball for Simpson Playground. I played hockey for Whitehall. We had a hockey league at Whitehall. Football was Moss, you know. And then I just remember like 8th grade, the turning point, like where I started hanging on the corner. Like, you know what I mean? You're hanging like that whole, what do you call it? Like sports and shit like that. That whole thing like faded out the window as soon as I found the corner, man. You know what I mean? The whole neighborhood just.
What intrigued you about the corner?
So I was saying, because it sounded like you came from like a real good family, good school and everything.
Yeah.
And was like it going down over there at this time?
What do you mean?
Like violence, drugs, and
No, I mean like we're talking early on. But, like, you know what I mean? I hung with the younger crowd, and then you had the old heads. So like you had the one corner, and then across was the bar. You know, you hung on the corner till you're old enough to get in the bar, and then the old heads would come out, smoke cigarettes. Oh no, actually you could smoke. You were able to smoke back in the day in
Inside
the bars,
the bar,
but
yeah.
I remember coming out, whatever, and they hang out the pitch quarters out front and shit like that, and that was the attraction. You saw the older guys in the bar. For me, a lot of dudes had work trucks. They were all like workers and shit like that. They would hang out in the bars at fucking rain days, shit like that. So, yeah, I guess it was like 8th grade was like the turning point in my life. I don't know what, you know what I mean? I always want acceptance from like people, you know what I mean? And I tell this like story a lot. I was like the young buck on the corner and all, and the old heads. I remember one time, the older crowd came down to me. They're like, "Yo," they weren't like the old heads, but they were like older than us, and like, "Yo, we want you to go down there and mingle with us." And I'm like, "What, dude?" And I think I was like 10 or something like that at the time. I was young, and they wanted me to go down there and mingle. They had book bags, and what they did was they wanted me to go in like Kmart, Toys R Us, and I was stealing like wrestling action figures, Pokemon cards for them and shit like that, and like that acceptance, you know what I mean? Because like they accepted, I'm hanging with the older guys and shit like that, and like that's where like, you know,
trying to fit in
and shit like that.
So you were a crash out.
Oh yeah, dude. I remember one time. I think we went to Breisberg. There was like a fight in Breisberg and shit like that, and we're walking up into Breisberg, and I remember one of the old guys were like, "You're gonna set it off," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're just gonna go up and start hitting me." I'm like, scared to death, but like I'm doing it, scared to death.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I don't even think I was 10 years old when I went up to this school down my way called FO Island, and it was like a basketball game. Some older guys from down there was like, "Huh, Lil, hold this." And they gave me the gun, and I told you, I don't even think I was 10 years old. I was scared as hell. And afterwards, they wound up taking it, but it was like that acceptance from older guys that was like known in my neighborhood.
You were
So
a holster.
I know the feeling. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of youngins
You got to start somewhere.
get taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying?
You go into
at
the
those
store.
ages.
You can run into the store for people. You get in the packs. That's how it starts.
Well, you still go to the store, so I mean,
For you. For you. So, getting into fights. What else, like, type of things were you doing once you started? And how were you still, like, in school, like?
Yeah, so
or were you just doing basic?
So this was like, you know what I mean, grade school.
Middle school.
So
Okay.
then I remember I went to North Catholic, and I went to North. And I had a sense of, when I went there, I had like a chip on my shoulder, sense of entitlement, because my dad went there. He was the all Catholic running back. Like growing up, I had like a sense of entitlement. Like I had a mouth on me, I still got it a little bit, but like, you know what I mean. My dad was a bad motherfucker, and he was 5'4", dude. And like everywhere I go, literally, I was just down Wildwood Memorial Day weekend. And I had my Pace roofing shirt on. Dude came up to me. He's like, "Is your dad Chris Pace?" He's like, "Dude, I saw him hit this guy." And when I tell you, my dad was like this fucking big, dude. Little Italian guy. But so I went to high school with like a chip on my shoulder, like, yeah, they know I am this, that, and the third. And I just caused ruckus in that high school, dude. Ruckus, like fights. Dude, and that's where like I remember going there, and I would sit with like the juniors and seniors and shit like that. And I remember they were on a different type of time than the freshmen. You know what I mean? They were, we was like new to them. You know what I mean? But now they were taking fucking. I remember Xanax bars, dude, in high school, and I remember this one dude like always had Xanax bars. I was like, yeah, I'll take one. And then
Freshman, in your freshman.
freshman year, I guess. This. I remember Dickies, right?
Yeah, with the cell phone pocket.
With the zipper on the fucking seam. Not the regular cell phone pocket that you put the phone in. They had a zipper in the seam now that you can zip and stash your shit in, dude.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
It was like a
those.
little zipper. You wouldn't even notice it on the seam of the Dickies. And like you could zip down. It was like a stash pocket in that thing.
It was like the same color as the pants, though,
Yeah,
the
you
zipper,
couldn't even,
right?
yeah, it was a little zipper on the side. You had the cell phone pocket. These were like exclusive Dickies. It was the Gulios on Torresdale Ave get them. Joints.
Man, my mom used to get me the Jones without the patch on the knee. She used to give me the straight leg
Jones,
Dickies. Yeah, I used to be mad as shit.
You ever remember people used to cut the top of the padding and put shit in? You know how you have the double knees? They used it as pockets.
Put notebook in there and all.
Yeah. But
Loso was weird, Dickie, don't you?
Yeah, my joint
Two-piece
got no
on?
pockets though.
You wear one piece, the overall.
the overalls.
So you're obviously acting up in high school, right?
Yeah, and that's where
you're already on the path.
Yeah,
It's
the
over.
acceptance. I'm hanging with the seniors, whatever, juniors, and like I'm doing that. And I remember them pulling me in. I got in this, dude. I had detention like, I think they said 100 and something. I remember when I was past, like my detention was up. Like we had to sit there and they would call out how many days you got left, and they told me how many days I had served, and the whole auditorium like looked back. Like I think my whole freshman year was fucking detention. Jug was what they called it. Yeah, whole freshman year. I remember I got in this crazy fight at school, and then like it turned into something bigger because some Spanish dudes from Logan or something like that. Then they brought his whole squad to the school. Now I'm coming out of school, they're rolling on me and shit like that. Turned into this big thing, and so they pulled me into the principal's office, and like they called my grandfather up there and shit like that. And now my grandfather like coached football there too, and like they're like, yeah, we've tried our best with him. You know, he might have to go somewhere for a year, and that's where Frankford High School came in after that.
Dang.
So a year in North, freshman year, and you passed. You still passed, and then 10th grade you're getting sent off to.
So
Frankfurt.
at the end of they didn't even let me finish my freshman year out. It was like literally May. So now I went to Frankfurt for the last month or two. I went to Frankfurt the last month or two, and then the next year I went to Franklintown.
Where's that?
In the Arsenal. It just opened. It was like newer Franklintown charter.
Yeah, it's up on a bridge.
So I lasted there 3 months. I got into a fight. They kicked me out of there.
Why do you keep getting into fights, Iron?
Young, chip on the shoulder, dude. I don't know.
Like something to prove, you think?
Probably. I mean,
Was it the girls?
nah, it wasn't
No?
the girls. Nah. You know, ego and shit like that. And I got kicked out of Franklintown. Ended up back in Frankfurt. Now, like, school. Like, I went from Catholic school my whole life to public school. And literally, you walk into a public school, they don't care if you're in the class. You can leave. You can go do whatever you want. Don't disrupt my class type shit, dude. And I'm like, bet, dude. And that's when, like, you know, I cut class, be all over fucking the neighborhood, fucking, you know, ducking. Think you see your parents' car or something like that. You're ducking it and shit like that.
So what was your dad and mom like? They see you like, this kid has everything. We make sure he has everything. Put him in Catholic school. And how were they responding to this?
So my mom, my mom was nuts, dude. Let's put it like that. My mom was nuts. My mom used to beat us, dude. I mean, not like saying it like in a bad
I got
way.
beat too.
Yeah, like belts. I remember one time my mom had a
90s.
whip for me and my brother and shit like that. Used to drag my sister by the hair. Like, that was her way of disciplining. My mom didn't like the fact that I was acting and she couldn't control me. Because you know what happened? We lived on the same block as my grandfather, and I run down to my grandfather's house. You know what I mean? When shit wasn't good at the house. Because at this point, it was like high school. Like, I could tell something was going on with my dad, man. My dad had his own business, too. Mm-hmm. I could tell something was going on with him. Drugs and alcohol. And my mother, too, man. Like, there was pills in the house and shit like that. I really don't tell this story a lot. I'm like, you're getting me vulnerable up here.
No, I mean,
but no, I got it.
we all went through.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not ashamed of where I came from, what my life was like, man. Because that makes it so much better today where I'm at.
Yeah.
So, fast forward, my mom couldn't control me, grandfather, whatever. I remember my mom had me locked up when I was 17, dude. She literally called the cops on me, had me locked up because I was just wild, like. Wow.
You got charged and all?
I didn't get charged for that. No. I think they
Detained you or something?
yeah, it was something like that. But I remember my 17th birthday, I was sitting in there because I was acting the fuck up. But cut in school. I met a girl at 16. I got her pregnant. I had a kid at 16.
A baby having a baby.
Yeah. That's what it was, man. That's what it was.
Now that didn't open up your eyes at all. Like,
No, I'm still a kid. You know what I mean? Like,
so are you thinking? So did you drop out of school or you finish?
I dropped out.
You dropped out of what, like 10th grade, 11th grade?
10th grade.
10th grade. Then what was it like that for you? Did you start getting a job? Did you go to play the streets harder?
Listen, I was always good with my hands. Like I always went to work with my dad. So like that's something like that was in me. Just work ethic.
What did your dad do?
Carpenter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I always went to work, man. I've been working since I was 16. Now, like I said, like Xanax came into play. I met this girl, had a kid, and then I remember the oxy like hanging on the corners with people and shit like that. And the oxy epidemic hit. You know, that was like
2004-ish.
Yeah, 2004. Yeah, it was because I was in high school.
2006,
It was 2004, 2005, and dude, that swept through the neighborhood like crazy. That swept through everywhere like crazy, man.
So it was like fentanyl back then. Like how big fentanyl is way worse.
Oh my god!
But
you're able to function.
the
oxy,
the wave though, the wave of like it just came.
Yeah, the pill
out of
came
nowhere.
out, had you grooving, dude. You know, a lot of kids were dying from them too.
They were so strong.
Yeah, they were very.
What
they're like.
Who introduced, like, now obviously you don't got to say their name, but was it someone you close to or just someone on the corner? They introduced you to them?
No, so you know,
start off with the perks?
graduated. You started with perks, dude, you know what I mean? And then you're fist load of perks, and then
At 16.
at 16, and then the oxys came, and they were like stronger perks. That's all they were. It was a stronger perk. And, dude, they got a hold of me, man. That got a hold of me. And,
So now you're dealing with an addiction to the pills. Are you working with your dad at this time?
yeah, I'm working with him.
While
now.
you're getting high?
Yeah, and he's you know, he's dipping and dabbing to my dad, man. You know, he suffered from his own demons. So, where we at? We're at 16, had a kid.
Yeah.
And then,
17, you got locked up for your birthday.
so 17, my mother died too.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was 17, my mother died.
I know that.
Yeah. So my mother died. So then my dad had this house, and then we got whatever. He was suffering from his own shit. We got rid of the house. We moved all down to my grandfather's down the street, and you know, that's where I just started like getting deeper in a hole, man.
So when your mom passed away, how did, at a young age, do you think that it just kept numbing it, I guess, with the drugs? Or did you really get a chance to like, because, you know, parents, you know, obviously they're supposed to die before their kids, but we're talking when we're in our 30s, 40s,
Right.
and sometimes even 50s. But as a teenager, you lose your mom.
I'm gonna hit this. We're getting deep over here.
You're good. No, I just want to know how you dealt with it, or even if
I
you
still
didn't
don't deal with it. Listen, like, I'll get deeper as I tell you, like, you know what I mean? Like, I lost a lot of people in my family, right? A lot of people in my family, man. It's just like, I'm very, like...
Numb to it?
Yeah, my fiance said I'm emotionless to death. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's like a coping mechanism or like a...
And I know, like, later on, you ended up losing your dad as well.
I lost my brother, too.
And your brother?
And my brother. So then we moved down the street. We're living in my grandfather's house. And my aunt moves next door. This is my dad's sister. And now my cousins move in the house, too. There's 3 of them. And these are my first cousins. And when I tell you, like, big family, next you know, like, just everybody started dropping dead. You know? Like, my mother, my brother, my cousin Kevin, my cousin Gina, the whole family, man.
Was it like from health issues?
No,
or
drugs and alcohol, man.
Oh,
drugs,
from oxys as well?
Just everything, man.
Yeah.
Everything, man. You know, and
And what, like, you're like 18, early 20s at this time?
yeah,
When
well,
it started?
yeah. So I'm gonna say 21. I think when my brother passed away, I think I was 20, 21, and
How old was he?
he was like 8 years older than me, or 6 years older than me.
So he
I'm
wasn't
not
even
good with
30.
dates. Yeah. So he was rated about to be 30 or something like that, and you know, I remember getting that call. I remember shooting up. I think he was in all the way up Cheltenham. I think he was in Alany or Cheltenham Ave. He was living all the way up Cheltenham Ave. He was living in the hood. all the way up Cheltenham Ave. I remember going up there, and they call me, and they're like, he's not breathing, this and that. And I go up there, and by the time I get there, they got him in the fucking blue bag with the zipper just right under his chin. I remember seeing that. That was, yeah.
So these deaths traumatized you, whether you realized it or not.
Yeah.
And you just got deeper into your addiction.
Yeah.
Now, were you ever doing things outside of your morals for money at this point now? Like stealing or selling drugs?
I remember, I thought I was like a smart criminal, dude. Like, I remember a couple commercial burglaries and shit like that I got jammed up with, always got off the hook. I wasn't telling, man. I know you're looking at me like that.
No.
I wasn't telling. Just string of luck. I remember I got caught for this one thing. They caught me coming out this building, and the security guard saw me. Then I'm at the 8th District at court and shit like that, and the whole case got dropped because he misidentified. I'm like, all right, what was he wearing? He was like, I don't recall. What do you look like? And he couldn't recall nothing because it was like 4 months ago, and there was a drunk, and I beat that one. But like, I was just like moving and shaking, man. You know, I was going to work too. You know, But
you're raising a kid now, right? Or do you have custody of the kid? Does someone else have custody of the kid?
Me and the kid's mother were living together. We're in a little bedroom at my fucking grandfather's, and dude, I mean, I was getting fucked up.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah.
So how long did this last for?
So at 23, I went away for the first time to rehab. I mean, I remember, it was 23. I think I caught an aggravated assault case. I was on I had detectives looking for me for some other shit, dude. And I remember my dad went away. My dad went away to self-help. And then they called me and they're like I went up to see him and shit like that. And like, I got all this shit going on. I'm in fucking a tornado in my life, dude. Tornado in my life. And I go up to see my dad. I go up there and I see like kids my age, they're like neighborhood dudes, and they're fucking, they're smiling, they're laughing. Now I can't tell you the last time I smiled and laughed and like genuine laugh, busting it up and shit like that. I'm like just so like numb to the world at this point.
Did a light bulb go off?
An attraction, it was an attraction. Like, what the fuck's going on up here and shit like that? Like, my dad had that spark back up there and shit like that. He's fucking lifting weight. He's like in shape, fucking. I'm like, all right. And then I remember my aunts were like, maybe you should go up there with him. I went up there, and that was like the first time I was introduced to like, I wouldn't say sobriety. It was just like the first time like for a long time I did without, you know?
Yeah.
I went up there. I remember I think I did like 5 months, 6 months.
Okay.
And then I went right back down the neighborhood. As soon as I got my weight back up, I went right down the neighborhood. You know?
Did you move back to the neighborhood afterwards?
Yeah. I went back down the neighborhood. I had my weight up. I went to show everybody I'm doing good. You know what I mean?
You had that arrogance or confidence?
Yeah, dude, it was like high school all over again. That's what it was. Like, I got something to prove them down the neighborhood. Like, yo, like, I got the weight up. I'm looking good type shit, man. Mm-hmm. I was in the bar that night. Drinking. Yeah. That night, because that's where everybody wanted to go.
Did you think, like, because it was alcohol, it wasn't an issue at that point? Like,
of course I'm going to make excuses.
Justify,
of course. Yeah. But I didn't have the tools, man. I didn't know. Like, I'm a person that learns from like failure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's hot, don't touch. It's this could say hot. You know what I mean? Wet paint, don't touch. I'm going to touch it. Like, oh shit, that's wet. I can't touch that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I gotta learn. Like, I'm just a hard head.
Yeah. So basically, you had like from 16, maybe even younger, but 16 to 23, you were actively using, drinking, drugging, you name it.
Yeah.
Then you got a little bit of sobriety, said, like a couple months, and then right back to it.
Right back down the neighborhood.
So now you're 23, and same thing?
Same thing. I mean,
how long did it take you to start picking up? Obviously, you were drinking right away, but to start picking up drugs again? If you remember.
I was probably smoking, then you graduate, and you know what I mean? You ease back into everything. Like, oh, it wasn't that. You just start justifying it.
Back to the oxys?
Oh, no. I was on Suboxone after that. I started taking Suboxone. You know, when they stopped making oxys, they stopped making oxys.
09?
No, it was later
After that,
It was
no, I
2010.
think they
2010.
No, it was later than that.
I got shot in 2010. That's when they were giving me 30s.
But they had 30s out before that, but they start generic in the oxys.
Oh,
now.
yeah,
it was
OPs.
like OP
and then there was
oxys.
like G Jones. There was like all different. Now they got them with wax on them and shit like that.
Yeah.
So you weren't back on the oxys? You were on the Suboxons?
I
and
got on
Xanaxes?
Suboxone. Yeah, I got a Suboxone. I got on Suboxone playing, man, and
So what's this next run like? 23 to...
dude, I mean, just being at a bar, you know what I mean? Benders on coke and shit like that. It just gets like, dude, it gets deeper. It's the progression of the disease, man. Because like, first and foremost, I'm a drug addict and alcoholic, man. I don't forget that. You know what I mean? It's part of my life. So, where was I at? All right. The progression, it's getting worse, and then I go back to rehab in 2015, 2016, or something like that. I go back up there.
How old were you at this time?
That was 10 years ago?
Yeah, 25.
25.
I was 25.
Okay, so
And,
you did 2 more years after the initial.
Yeah, I'm 2-year run, back
Okay.
in again. I go back to self-help. That's the only treatment place I've ever been, man. That place, like, I brag about that place every chance I can get, man. That helps, like, so many people. You know what I mean? I'm going back up there. Like, every chance I get, I go up there and, you know.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
Yeah, I'm going up this Thursday. Not this Thursday, next Thursday. I'm going back up there. But it's one of the best places in the city, man. Really, like, I never heard a negative thing. Somebody that goes up there, because I've seen people's lives change there, man. Come in crawling, like, yeah. 2000. I went back in there, 25, whatever. Same thing, you know. Same thing. Right back down the neighborhood. Got worse. So now, I think it was like 2017, 2018 or something like that. 2017 now. I go back there for the third time. And this is that spiritual moment or whatever like that, you know what I mean? I remember, dude, I'm running around. I'm like 100 pounds soaking wet. My hair was this long. I got thong flip-flops on and fucking having the open toes. Yeah. And I remember, like, I had a bag packed and I kept saying, I'm going away, dude. I'm going away, man. I can't keep doing this. And I remember my one buddy, like, I couldn't find a bed nowhere to get. This one, it was, like, actually hard. Now, I guess, like, it's really easy to seek help and treatment. Back then, it was, like, hard to get beds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I couldn't find a bed nowhere to go. And I remember, like, I had my family looking for one. I even had my one buddy looking for a bed. He was calling around for me. And then I remember the one night, I think I just robbed my sister, dude. I took money out of her purse. I'm just at an all-time low. And I remember I'm walking down Church Street. Now, Church in Tarsdale, there's the R5 line. You know, the train, the R5?
Yeah.
That takes you, take you up to Bristol, New York, whatever. The speed train. There used to be an old stop up there. So I remember I walked up to that old stop, man. And I contemplated jumping in front of the train that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think stopped you?
I don't know. I remember just sitting there contemplating, like, I can't get this, man. I can't get this. I keep fucking up, man. Like, this ain't supposed to be my life. Shit like that. Like, and I sat there for a while, man. And then at this point, I remember coming down, and I didn't make it a block. I collapsed in a fucking field of grass just from exhaustion, man. Just tired. Haven't slept in days. I'm fucking just like, I remember laying in this grass on Church Street. You know where that park is? Church and whatever. There's a park. Used to be a park. There's a patch of grass. I remember laying in this grass and fucking. I'm laying there, and now I'm just so tired. I can't even move my fucking body. And this is like 2 a.m. at this point. And my one buddy who was trying to find me a bed, driving by, all I remember is like coming to, because I'm like tired. I'm like, whatever. Coming to, he's like on top of me screaming. He's like, no! He thought I was fucking shacked. Yeah. He's like, oh no! And the next day, he got me a bed. He got me into treatment. He got me into I was at like Mercy at West Philly, 53rd and Osage or something like that out there. Mercy Hospital.
And this is 2017.
Yeah, so they got me out there. And I go through the detox. I'm trying to get in the program now out of detox, and like they're telling me all the beds are available and shit like that. Like basically they let me go.
Were you still doing the Suboxons? Or you didn't want to get, or methadone, nothing?
I went through the detox, like I was
nothing.
Nothing.
Okay.
So now I just did like a couple days in detox. and I couldn't get into a program somewhere, and so I remember they let me go. They gave me a token. I'm on the L, and I just remember there's some crazy girl like screaming at me, like homeless crazy girl, 52nd Street, going nuts, and I'm like, dude, and I'm just like sick, and I'm like, I gotta go. Like, the only option is to go get high again, dude. You know what I mean? Like, this is like.
Everything feels like it's being too resistant for you to even try.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I remember I got off at Church Street. I walked down Church Street, and I got home. Like, I remember crying, dude. Just like, dude, like, what the fuck, man? Like, and I remember just walking, and it's just coming down, dude. And I'm just like a mess at this point. And I get home, and they're like, why don't you go to self-help? And I'm like, here, they already had a bed for me there waiting. There was like, dude, like, that was a God moment right there. Because, like, my next option was to, like, go get high and, like, self-destruct to, like, you know what I mean?
Real quick, where was your son at this time? With his mom?
With his mom at the house, man. I was just running amok, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was running amok.
So that's your last run, 2017?
No. So,
did you start? So, and where are you working at this time? Because I remember
there's no job at this point, man.
I remember I seen you you shared a post from maybe 2018, 2017, and it was like your goals, and it was like so small.
That comes along after this.
Okay.
So I get up to self-help. I get up self-help now. I've been there. This is my third time. My hair's just fucking long. I told you I'm in them open toes.
Right. What was that goal list about though? Because I wrote my goals down 10 years ago too, and like you brought it way past fruition. But it was simple, like get your GED, get in a union. What else was it? Like get a driver's
license. So I go back to self-help, and like this time, like I take it serious, man. Like I ain't manipulating their program. I'm actually, you know what I mean. And I started going to AA meetings. You know what I mean. And that's where I got with a sponsor. Like Rich Tape was my sponsor at that point. You had him up on here.
Yeah,
that's my guy.
Good guy.
I started following what he's like, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, write a goals list, man. You know, do this. Like, where do you want to be at? And like, I'm going around these guys now. These guys all got union jobs. They got fresh sneakers on their feet. They got haircuts and shit like that. There's the attraction, you know? So I stuck around these guys, man. I stayed up self-help for a year.
Do you know what's crazy though? Compared to back to high school and in the streets, like you always wanted to fit in, but now you want to fit in with the right people. So like you're fitting in with people that got goals. You're fitting in with people that eventually are business owners.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. Like we all want to be accepted and fit in. It's just we are around the wrong crowd, I think.
Just young. I mean, like it's just victim to a neighborhood, man. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
Product of your environment.
Same thing. Like you know what I mean? Fishtown, fucking Port Richmond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same thing. Everybody's you're a neighborhood, and like everybody grows up in a park or off a corner and shit like that.
Playground.
Yeah.
So this was your last self-help.
This is my last self-help. So I stayed there for a year. Me and my one buddy, he came up with me through there. So we stayed there for a year. I wrote that goals list on my goals.
Stayed there for a whole year.
Yeah. So Rich was like, I write a goals list, man. What you want out of life, man? And I think it was like, I want a bank account. I want credit.
Got it in there?
That joint's still in there, dude. That's how you know I'm doing good. I still got the same phone from that long ago.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm doing good. There it goes right here. GED, union job, pay off. Now, I haven't had my license since I was 16, dude. 16. They live stopped me at Front and Lehigh. Took my grandfather's car. Gave me so many tickets, dude. Pay off tickets. Pay tickets off. Lease new truck. Apartment. Credit. Bank account. So,
it's crazy, just some stuff that right now seems so simple, but back then that was
unattainable.
Unattainable,
dude.
You think you're being a little far-fetched, like, yeah, I'm getting an apartment, I'm kind of drawn, but I'm going to put it on there anyway.
Yeah, dude, no, it's just like all of them when I was like at a low, man. It's like, dude, I always thought like, man, if I get my license, get a truck, I can go make some money. I'm good with my hands, shit like that. And, but me and my one buddy, we left self-help. Went and got an apartment in Parkwood. Now I didn't go back down to the neighborhood now.
Together?
Yeah, together. We went and got a little townhome in the Northeast. And now I didn't go back down to the neighborhood.
Where were you working at?
Rob Nolfi Roofing, dude. Rob Nolfi Roofing.
Oh, that's when you...
Were you doing demo with Tim?
Tim Riley. Yeah. That was Christ, that was in self-help, dude. That was in self-help. $60 a day. $60 a day, man.
It's labor.
Labor.
And then you got with Nofi.
And then I got
Did
with
you
Nofi.
have any roofing experience before that?
Yeah, I roofed.
With your dad and all?
My dad didn't like roofing.
Okay.
My dad didn't like roofing. Said it was a dirty job.
But he would do like what, metal work? And...
Metal, siding, windows, doors, kitchens, bathrooms, shit like that. So yeah, I got with Rob. I remember like, dude, I worked in, like I was well rounded, right? And I remember it was like summertime, and I put this thing on Facebook. I was like, yo, looking to get on the roof this summer, because like summertime roofing, dude, you're done early, quick money. You know what I mean? You got so much the afternoon.
And I think like at all the trades, they probably pay the laborers a little bit more and the mechanics a little bit more than another trade.
Yeah, I was a mechanic. Like I knew aspects of the roof. You know what I mean? Yeah, got with Rob Nolfi. Now my buddy, as soon as we left self-help, he started getting high off the rip, man. He started getting high off the rip.
Was that your, what's your name, your roommate?
Yeah.
And he was getting high up there with you. Well,
yeah,
not with you, but around you.
Yeah, he pulled up with the U-Haul truck. I remember him pulling up with the U-Haul truck. He had his shit and got out the truck. I was like, damn. I looked at him, he was mangled. I was like, that's the type of time we're on? I was like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Mm. So I relapsed. Then next, I got honest with like my boys about it. I'm like, yo, dude, I fucked up. And I'm like, but this dude's, you know what I mean? This was like my best friend. I'm like, I don't think he wants to get sober again. And they're like, well, you got to leave your apartment, you know? Mm. And that's when like I left my apartment. I went and moved in my sister's basement. You know what I mean? I was flipping out. Like, my name's on that lease, dude. I work for that shit. And they're like, you want to stay sober? Like, you want to get this shit, dude? Like, who cares? Mm. And I remember I gave up the apartment. I went in my sister's basement, and literally within a week later, they found him dead in that apartment.
Now imagine if you would have stayed and relapsed again off of...
So you did relapse, you said? But,
yeah.
But you didn't go back to self-help. You just got it together real quick.
I was around the right people, man. I pulled myself up back into meetings and shit like that. And, where we at?
So now you're in Sister's basement.
Sister's basement.
I've been there. So.
Yeah.
So you got people walking up on top of you.
Yeah, dude. I wasn't even there that much, man. I was working and at this point, I think at this point I started my union job. I got in the car. So I passed my GED. I passed the carpenter's test. I studied for that for like weeks, man. Months. That carpenter algebra. You think you know algebra, man? Mm-hmm.
Look at that head.
I'll put an equation on you right now, man. I'll call it. So like, dude, when I tell you, I was doing tutoring and shit for it. I couldn't do simple fucking math, dude. No. Simple time.
See, because you were just dedicated to like getting it. You had to learn that shit.
Yeah, no, you're just rusty with a pencil and like, you know what I mean, putting numbers together. Like we're all used to like a calculator. Like I was like I couldn't do basic timetables because like I think I know it. I write it down. I'm like, no, write it out. Write your formula out and shit like that. So whatever.
And we got ChatGPT. So
yeah. So I passed my GED. Next week passed the carpenter's test. Now I get in the carpenter's union and
you're not working with no fee.
Nah. I went in the carpenter's union. Now at this point I went and got myself a truck. I went and financed a fucking brand new truck. So now I'm in the carpenter's union. I got a truck with a ladder rack. I'm doing a little roofing on the side and shit like that. And now I'm in the carpenter's union. They got me on the side of a fucking highway. On the side of a highway up by the Poconos, dude. In the freezing cold. It's snowing, blizzard. There's a fucking cow and chicken farm next to us up there, man. I'm doing heavy highway construction.
Oh, they have you doing heavy highway.
Heavy highway, yeah, carpenter. Yeah.
Now, how does that work? Do they get you a hotel up there when you?
No.
So you got to commute back and forth.
Dude, it was wintertime, dude. I like literally drove in at night, came home at night. Dang. And I think I was making like 15. Like, it was a goal to get in there, man. And I got in there, and then it's just like, you know what I mean? I just didn't see it anymore, you know? And that was the scariest thing for me, man, because this is all I ever wanted. A nice career. Like, I can remember being fucked up. I'm like, yo, if I get in a union, I'm set for life, man.
Now, what about, you see, like, older people that have been there for 30 years or 20 years, and you're like, that's not what I want.
I mean, back then, like, now I feel
I'm saying that after working there and doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just heavy. Every carpenter will tell you that sucks, dude. You know what I mean? Like, right now, I'm trying to get my kid in the union. Like, if you get in there young, man, you put a little time in there, man. Like, again, you can have that, and then you can have that, and then you can have your side work, too. You can have the best of both worlds, man. Yeah. You can. I know people that are running businesses from a union. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know people that did it, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I'm trying to get him into the electricians right now, so we got him a tutor, and he's studying.
So you was about to break. What kept you going
Where?
in the union?
No, I tapped.
Up the Poconos. Oh, you did tap.
I tapped.
You tap right there?
Yeah,
How old were you at this time?
Late 20s.
Yeah, 28, 29, 28, 27, something like that.
So you tapped out.
I remember talking, dude, and like it was the biggest decision. I'm like, dude,
Now you're still going to meetings and stuff too, right?
Yeah. I'm in sobriety.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like, dude, I just want to fucking. Hold on.
Was there other seeds getting planted? Like, do you see other people doing something else and you're like kind of attracted to that now?
Well, I got sober and I just started chasing money, man. I had this whole persona, like I'm a hustler. You know what I mean? I like getting to some money, man. I'm a hard worker, and now it's like the harder I work, the more I make. Before I was getting high, that money wasn't mine. That was everybody else's money.
Yeah.
Now I'm making money, and it's like that
For you.
Yeah, and that became me, dude. I just like, you know, and then so biggest decision quitting the union, dude. It took me like month or so just talking about it consistently to like all my boys. You know what I mean?
You had to build yourself up.
Did you have a game plan though?
Yeah. And then because I was getting a lot of side work doing the roofs. You know what I mean? And
Now, how did that transcend? Like, so anyone out there that's doing side work and all, like, when is the right time? Do you just know it? Did you have so many jobs lined up? Did you have like maybe like a couple? If I get 3 jobs a week, that's going to cover what my pay is.
that's
like,
exactly what it was. That was it was like, you know what I mean? 2 jobs a week covers. You know what I mean? Like, and I was getting that. I had a couple like investors from out of the city. You know what I mean? I had this one guy from Boston. He was buying a house every week in the city before the pandemic, dude. Every week. He was crushing it, man. His portfolio was crazy.
And you were his roofer. And
I
you're
was his
like, all right,
roofer.
so that's paying my bills, and then I got to hustle to keep.
Yeah. And then, you know, the LLC came. Me and my buddy John went and got an LLC.
When did the like, I don't want to be a owner operator, I want to be a business owner. Now, mind you, I know it takes a long time to come, but when was it like, I want guys working for me too? I'm still going to be on the tools, but I need help. When did that come?
Just in growth. You know what I mean?
Like
you
what,
know?
year 1, year 2?
Year one.
Year one, right away.
Year one, yeah. I think we got 3. At first it was me, and I would look for a helper, and then like within a couple months, it just was like, all right, we need guys.
Yeah.
And then there came a truck. Then came another truck. You know?
What were you doing to get your name out there at this point?
A lot of it was just word of mouth, right? And then some small property maintenance companies and shit like that. A couple of those, a couple investors, and just, you know.
Did you turn a roof down at that point?
Did I? What is it?
Turn a roof down at that point?
What do you mean?
Like now it's someone call it like, hey, we got the small repair job for this, and you're like, hey, I'm not.
No, I take it all. No,
Still?
yeah. I'm not. Dude, I learned my lesson that people that's frowned upon. You know what I mean? It's like being bougie with the. You know what I mean? Granted, like I'll go look at it, and if it ain't worth it, like I'll show face. Like
You
know what
might
I mean?
charge
If it's like-
$1,200. They think you're going to do it for $300.
Yeah, dude,
Something like that.
It's bad out there, bro. It's bad out there. I just had somebody hit me up on Instagram talking about if they saw us down at the festival, and she was like, "Hey, I need to get my roof coated." I was like, "All right, no problem." I was like, $950. We'll maintenance the roof for you or something like that. And she's like, "I got a quote for $350 for it," and I'm like, "That's impossible." Like literally, I called my supply house. I was like, "Yo," and I told them the material for a maintenance. I was like, "Yo, give me 2 cans of coated, can of cement, roll of fabric, blah blah blah." I said, "Send me that printout." Sent me the printout. It was $330, $340 just for the material to properly do with the job. Like that's
So
just.
how was he doing it?
I don't know if he was even doing it. She said $350. I'm like, what's it do? Make it 10? Literally, you would make if you did it the right way, you make $10 off it. The job. And then know what it is? Like I got like. I'm like, dude, $950 is a low because I know people that are charging $12 and $13 for maintenances and shit like that. And I'm sure people are gonna be on this podcast like he's only charging $950 for it, like, you know, and like it's like the game's fucked up right now. The contracting game, I'm sure you see it when you're painting all the time. People are probably fucking. You're like, dude, I'm a business owner. I don't know how.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
hard, it's hard to compete with somebody that doesn't do it the right way.
Yeah.
It's just hard to compete. But yeah, I want to get into where like you started growing in the sense of you're sober, you're growing your business, you're active in AA.
I got at this point. I take my son full time.
Take your son full time.
I got my son full time now. He's living with me.
So it was 1 truck, 2 truck, 3 trucks.
3 trucks.
Yeah.
So
Did you get it tested along the way with your sobriety?
yeah. I mean, I think I'm like 8 years clean from a drug, and I'm about to be coming up on 5 years clean from a drink. Not to justify it like that, but like, you know, there's been shortcomings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 5 years, nothing.
5 years, nothing.
Yeah.
5 years, nothing.
Why? And this is why you were in business?
What do you mean? Yeah. So it was during the pandemic. Now, like, business is thriving, man. We're killing it. And like I said, I had this persona. It's crazy how like you go through stages in life. Fucking like I was telling you earlier, like I've been a degenerate fucking gambler, dude. That came when I started making some money. You know what I mean? I went to all the nice clothes, and now I have an Atlantic City fetish because like I go down there, I'm dropping money, they're comping me, I'm eating good, like, you know, I'm doing that whole thing.
So it's like a lifestyle thing.
Yeah,
You want to live good.
Yeah. At this point, I mean, I never really seen money like that.
Yeah.
So it's like.
And for like people that don't know, I know you do really good work, and you're one of the most notable roofers.
Thank you.
What are some big projects you did in the city? Like I think you did a couple cheesesteak places. No, for real.
Yeah.
Jim, was it not Jim's?
Pat's.
Pat's.
We did Pat's. That was like a 200-year-old roof we tore off. No,
200.
I'd say it was like a 100-something-year-old roof.
Wow.
Never
And you
been
did a full
torn off.
tear off.
Full tear off. And the best part was they couldn't close. They have a license where they have to be grandfathered in with a license with the city where they have to be open 24/7. So they weren't allowed to close.
I got a question about that. Like, how do you work around the signage and all? That's crazy. It's a
Dude.
lot of cutting and
What is it?
like around the signage and all the like brackets up there.
Yeah. There's fillers for that. There's like clamps, pitch pockets.
Okay.
Yeah, liquid filler. You build a frame, pour the liquid sealer in there for all like the footings.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, they got a corrugated roof. We had to buy inso boards and shit. Like that was just a project, dude. That was a project, but that was more, and we didn't make a lot of money off that neither.
Content.
Huh?
Content.
I don't even think content was a thing back then. I think we're like, you know what I mean? It was just like some pictures and shit like that.
What else? Angelo's? Did you do Angelo's?
Angelo's. I did Sarcone's, Capucho. I did a lot on 9th Street, Italian Market. Like at this point, my business was thriving in South Philly, man. This is before it got oversaturated. I was thriving down there, man.
And this is all around 2020, pandemic-ish.
Yeah, this is all in the pandemic.
Now, when did you move out of the city?
Oh, that's
Jersey living.
That's later on.
So you're like gaining all of these things that like are beyond. They're way past that list, right?
Oh, life beyond
Like-
my wildest dreams, man.
Like you
And
didn't
I
get
didn't know how to handle it.
you didn't get an apartment, right? You have a house with no neighbors, right? You didn't get a truck. You got a
Yeah.
supercar. So like you're exceeding all these expectations. How are you with like being a person with ego? Like how are you dealing with it?
Of course, I was in a phase like I told you. And then I went to like, I wanted fucking all the nice clothes. I'm buying fucking. I'm in King of Prussia Mall, dude, all the time. Neiman Marcus, fucking shopping. Don't get me wrong. I like a nice outfit, man. I like a nice outfit, but like I'm so.
I like a nice steak.
Huh?
I like a nice steak.
Yeah, I did that too. Like, you know what I mean? I've been out for a steak face for a minute. I like low-key Italian restaurants now, man.
Yeah.
Did you see that Palazzi Club that they just gave out memberships down in South Philly? Nah. 25 memberships. They haven't gave out memberships in like 2 years. It's like an exclusive.
Where's that?
13th Street. It's like a 200-year-old Italian
Whoa.
restaurant. What?
13th Street.
South Philly. Not your South. Not your you talking about 13th and Locust. That's what
Talking about the exclusive club on 13th Street.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But anyway, like I'm in that town. The steaks. How many different ways can you cook a steak, man? It's medium. Put a little seasoning on it. It can't get. It's the same shit. And now
I feel like different places they taste better.
Yeah, but then you're starting to get in competition how much you could pay for the steak. Because you go to Barclay, it's like, this is a $400 fucking Wagyu. And then you're going to Steak 48, and now it's this much. It's like you're trying to see how much you could pay for a steak. Yeah.
So what are some like future goals that you got for yourself? I know, we were talking about getting into more investing rather than just growing the business.
So back into the business, right? So I remember it was like pandemic. And like I said, I was living like that flashy. And I remember like you started coming up, dude. You came home and you had your painting shit going. And then I remember getting around you and you had this like mentality like what I'm on now. And this was like, what was that, like 4 years ago? 4 years ago, you were on the mentality I'm on now, dude. You're like, dude, I just want a business to run itself. Like you were like putting chips in place. I'm like, nah, man, you just gotta fucking work and like just work, like, you know what I mean? Like
hustle. You were a hustler.
Yeah, hustler. Like work. You just gotta work. Fuck this money, man. Like no respect for like You know,
Not strategic at all.
Nah, dude, we were blowing money fast.
So you would make like, say, 10 grand, and you were spending that 10 grand. And
No.
it
I
were
mean,
putting it up.
I was saving money, but like, we're blowing it. You know what I
There
mean?
wasn't no marketing or anything.
No, dude, I've been on marketing since day one. My buddy John was really good with that, man.
I think, and just as me from the outside looking in, I think you weren't dialed in on your systems and processes and long-term thinking. I think no long-term vision for the company.
So
He was a hustler. Like Ernie's a hustler.
So like I had this mentality, like, dude, like I was supposed to be dead I was supposed to be dead a long time ago, man. Tomorrow's not promised. Everybody wants to keep talking about their future and shit like that, and like, nah, I'm just here to live for today. Type. That was like the mentality. You know what I mean? Flashy, and yeah, man, you were on that wave a long time ago, man. And now it's like I'm sitting here like going through all that. You know what I mean? Trying to make a business that's.
And I still got Chuck Taylors that I probably wore when I seen you.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about that shit.
Meanwhile, your pockets on bell.
My pockets on. I take so many losses. You know how that shit is, bro.
Yeah. I get it. You're kind of coy.
Nah. Look, these properties, man, this shit. I just found out I owe taxes. I thought they were taking out the mortgage the whole time. I'm getting hit with a couple grand here, couple grand there.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, it takes money to make money, though, right? So
yeah, and that's what you were on, like that whole vibe, and I was just like, dude, I was just making money, stacking, fucking doing whatever I wanted.
You started getting around different people, you think, too, or it was the same crowd?
My circle's small. I'm with the same. You know what I mean? My circle's small, dude. Very small. I got I can literally name you got Huff, Butler, CJ, Rich, Jack, dude. Jack just came along a couple years ago. Jack Delaney, man. That's my fucking guy, man. That's my guy. What a solid dude.
Gotta get him on.
Not for nothing, dude. Like
Jack's the man.
But small circle, dude.
All sober.
All sober.
All sober. So that's what I like about your clique, and I'm cool with a lot of them same guys too. Probably call any one of them right now, but like sober, motivated. Want to be your full's potential, family guys.
Yeah.
Like it's, you try to be as well-rounded as possible in all aspects of life. Obviously, we all fall short. We're human beings. But that's why, I like all them guys. You introduced me to a couple of them, and I clicked with them well.
Yeah. So just, I go through the phase. Like I said, gambling. I remember making money. We bought all the toys, jet skis, and fucking quads
Dirt
and
bikes,
all this shit, dude. You're living out your fucking child shit you never had in your fucking late 20s, and it got to a point I'm just it's just getting, I don't want to say boring for
repetitive.
me. Repetitive, man. It's when does it stop? And that's where it's it's really stuck in it. I don't want to do this. Not do this forever, but it's so repetitive, man. And I need that rush of that growth. What's the next thing? What's the next thing?
You weren't building nothing. You were just
maintaining.
It was a good way to maintain.
Yeah, I mean there was growth, but it wasn't you know what I mean. It was just more money. It wasn't structured.
Yeah,
kind of.
Yeah. So
how old was your son? Excuse me, friend. Can I get one question in, brother? Thank you. How old was your
I thought you were sleeping over there.
No, I wasn't sleeping. You was hitting them back to no didn't. You was going in with the questions. I thought it was you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But how old was your son when you start developing a relationship with him?
11.
And how is your relationship now through everything?
Now, so
He'll fuck him up.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler.
Oh shoot.
And he's in
He was a wrestler upstate too.
Yeah.
champion. What are you talking about?
Champion.
Relationship with my
I was like
son
Stone
now.
Cold. He was The Rock.
I feel like they were similar though.
We were doing like that. We were like role play.
No, I was married. Mark Henry. No, we ain't do no role play.
Mark Henry.
You was
They was calling you sexual chocolate.
No, they wasn't.
You walked into
No,
that
they
one.
was calling white chocolate up
Into
there.
that one, dude.
But his son goes to the gym, fucking works out.
Yeah, he's into that
shoot.
jiu-jitsu really heavy too.
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
So relationship now, you're cool.
Yeah, man, I had him. I got him at 11. When I moved to Jersey, got him in the high school over there, and
Nothing like you growing up, like as far as getting in trouble in the school and stuff.
I tell people all the time I'm very jealous of my kids. My kid's everything I wanted to be growing up, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's good looking. He's jacked. You know what I mean? 16, I got him a brand new car, dude. And
He good looking, so that mean he don't look like you then.
stop playing, man. Stop playing with me.
You don't think he's cute?
No, dick.
Who would you say is cuter, me or
Bro,
you're judging him? I'm just saying.
Be honest.
bro, come on, man, we ain't on that.
All right.
You're making him uncomfortable.
No, but what you was saying, though, bro, you said is he be drawn, man. You said you jealous of us, basically
Not
of yourself.
jealous. I'm
Not like that.
but
Yeah,
like,
like
he's everything I want it to be.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
everything
yeah,
I want
yeah,
it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Does
dude,
he even realize how good he has it? That's
Nah,
the crazy thing.
not at all.
Because you
Not
had
at
the
all.
contrast, right? You had the life that wasn't the life that he had, so you can compare it to something. He don't have nothing to compare it to.
Nah. I mean, don't get me wrong. The kid's seen some shit, been through some shit, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't take that away from him, but like he got it, dude. I just so my fiance's car got broken into, and one of my cards was taken out, right? So I canceled it, and the card, there was no balance on the card, and then I'm down the store, I'm checking out. He has my card info. I'm checking, and like I never really checked this one card, right? And I'm looking, and I'm like, Uber Eats, Uber, DoorDash. I'm like, this motherfucker he orders fucking out 3 times a day on the fucking card.
That's that black card you got. Amex you got. He ain't noticed that. Come on.
Yeah. So anyway, like that's a fucking luxury right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like, remember being hungry back in the day? You gotta go rummage through the kitchen, hoping you can find something, man.
He's looking at
Ooze and noodles and sugar water.
Dude, stale cereal.
Yeah,
Stale
seriously.
If you could go to the store and go to the Poppy store, then that was a win. Like if you had like,
Dude, and yo, like $2 would get you so far back in the Poppy store. You get like 4 bags of chips.
What? Candy? Everything.
Dude, Star Crunch. We get a Star Crunch.
Yeah. And with a hug, too, for the best.
Yeah, they were a quarter, too.
Yeah.
$1, you got everything. You got chips, little Debbie cake. Pause.
Nice.
You gotta watch a little. A Huggy. And then you could probably even get like 25 fish back
2
then.
Lucy's, man. Get a Lucy with it, so.
Nah, I didn't smoke.
I don't smoke no Lucy's.
You didn't smoke no Lucy's?
No.
No? Do you smoke cigarettes? You ever smoke cigarettes?
No.
No?
No. I had buckhorns when I first got.
What the fuck? Stop. What?
So a buckhorn is right after I got sentenced. I was stressed out and graded for. So a buckhorn, I walk on a block. It's probably like 400 people on each side of the block. So it's
Long as
800
shit.
people on one
The block's
block,
like
right?
a mile long.
I'm walking on the block. I just see like cloud of smoke. I'm walking. People like, Lil. So I'm thinking to myself, this where everybody been at. Everybody locked the fuck up. So they like, yo, when you get in your cell, let me know what cell you in. That's what people saying, like from the top tier, bottom tier. I'm like, all right, so
He was around?
yes, well, I'm Lil. So I get in my cell, I scream like, yo, what cell I'm at? And then people just start dropping tobacco, like snacks, everything, like, because graded for
Hey,
he
tell
got
me
a
about the
slot
honey,
on top
the
of
honey bun that was on his bed.
No, it was not even on my bed. So basically they drop like tobacco and it comes with top paper. And upstate they call them buckhorns.
You roll your own tobacco.
Yeah, you roll your own tobacco.
Roll up.
Yeah, but they call them buckhorns up there. But yeah, I was stressed out after I got my time and stuff. Yeah, I was upgraded for. I'm like, man, let me see what this thing
I don't think
tastes
you
like.
smoked it at Forest. You ain't smoking Forest, right?
No, but what I was about to say. Yeah, it kind of. I don't even think it's up there no more though.
No, they took
they
it
got
back
like
out.
e-cigarettes.
You can do e-cigarettes up there.
Yeah, it's e-cigarettes, but ungraded for that joint.
That was tobacco is the currency up there.
Yeah,
That's everything.
that's the money.
Subs too, man.
That's who. Yeah.
Slither them in
Yo,
about
my
10
cousin
pieces,
just said I'm on the phone with him. Matter of fact, my man B-Dot. I was on the phone with him. He said that they prescribe you Suboxones up there now. You can go there and get them.
Yeah, they do that in the county too.
There used to be methadone block too in the
Yeah.
county. Yeah, methadone. So you weren't sick in there.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's crazy.
He's like I'm snapping on like all these white dudes because they want to be on methadone. Then they want to be on Suboxones. Then they think they're going to go home and be successful. Like they can't even kick that habit in here. I'm like, you're right. So stay the fuck away from them.
Mm-hmm.
But
That was deep. Well, one thing I can say is like they know what they're on. I'm pretty sure you seen guys just like I seen guys that was incarcerated that would take anybody medication Thorazine, all different
yeah.
types of stuff just to get high.
Yeah.
Like, we used to call them Skittles. Like, yo, we going to the Skittle line. We used to take like a handful of whatever.
Sell them for fucking
Seroquel, a couple Seroquel.
all type of shit.
Yeah, and then what made it worse
Tramadol,
was
all type of shit.
yeah, what made it worse was the guys was cheeking them, bringing them back to the block, selling them,
yeah.
like putting them in their mouth and act like they swallowing them.
Yeah, and then you spit them out.
Yeah,
spit
them. Yeah, so yeah, so it was crazy.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about jail. That shit's crazy. Prison is crazy. Yeah, so back to you and your direction, like now, right? So, you think you're more focused now than ever? You got all your desires out the way, all the fun out the way, and you can still have fun, right? But like you were probably overindulging and spending and
yeah.
So do you think like, do you even want to go fast and far, or do you just want to like go smart and relish the moment? You're about to have a kid.
Yeah.
So
so I think my aspect has changed in the past 2 years. You know, I met my fiance. She got a kid, and like my sister just had a bit. Like it's just I'm more family oriented now. That flashy, I want to impress everybody's out. Like I got that out my system, and I feel like I've been on like just want to be home, settled in. You know what I mean? Less chaos, dude. Because like this business can get chaotic, man. It can get crazy now, and now it's just like I'm more dialed in on that aspect, like.
what about when we were just talking on the phone? You say you were driving on a highway and you got like hit with like just some gratitude. Like speak on that. You said you were driving home from Philly to Jersey and you just got hit with some gratitude. Like you were like, look, the guys are working. Like
No.
Like it could be worse.
I was coming home from the shore, man. I was coming home from the shore and like I'm just like, dude, I'm like,
we want more.
I'm always chasing more and more. Because what happens is we start, you know what I mean? We become business owners. We start acquiring things. Now we're getting around other levels of people. You know what I mean? Now
they got the shore house. They got the
shore house,
car.
dude. No, my new thing is I want a Lamborghini now. So like you go around these dudes, right? They got like certain things, and you're just like that attraction's there again, man. You're like, dude, like, you know.
Do you know what pisses me off though about that though? It's because it's like, how did they get it? It's not like they're human beings just like me. They're not doing anything that I can't do. I just haven't done it yet. So my thing is like, how did they get it?
That's the biggest dude. Like, yo, when I go on vacation, I'll go down like Florida, wherever I go, like, right, and I'm around like you see these people with these things, and like my biggest question, like I think I was in the Bahamas, right, and I got this one we're all yachts, dude. When I tell you like. These ain't little yachts. These are like $100 million
big
yachts.
boys.
Yeah, Atlantis in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Big ones, dude. And like I go up to there's this one like security guard there, so you can't go on the dock on the people's yachts. And I woke up, I'm like, yo, what do these people do for a living? He's like, I think the same thing. He's like, this guy's been parked here for 2 years. You know how much it is a month here? $40,000 a month. It's the dockest thing here. Yeah. I'm like, he guys been the boat hasn't moved in 2 years. He was saying now $100 million yacht. Like I'm talking about block long. Just like that's like what do these people do? Like before, like I used to have that mentality, like that high school, like jam mentality, back to the wall. I don't know you, you don't know me, don't talk to me, like shit like that. And now it's like I see like them Joe dudes. Remember you being around, dude? Like this dude's Joe, always fucking talking to somebody. Like who's he talking to now? Like them dudes are the dudes that opportunities are presented to.
Oh, facts.
Yeah.
That open up. They don't like, you know what I mean? Because like, say I see you across the room, you don't know me, I don't know you. We're gonna stare at each other right away. We're gonna start judge. You know what I mean? Making assumptions. You know what I mean? And really, it was just like an open, like, yo, what's going on, man? Hey, blah, blah. And to bust it up and
being open-minded. Open-minded.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Let that ego down.
And how about another thing, Ern, too? Like, do you think you were a big fish in a small pond when you wanted to close, when you wanted to like when you wanted all that stuff? Do you think like that fulfilled you enough? Now you're getting out and you're seeing more different levels of business, different.
Yeah, yo, 100%,
now you're like,
100%.
damn, I'm really a small fish in a bigger pond.
Yeah, because like I said, you want these things, and then you get around people that have these other things, and like you know what I mean, their business are run a certain way, and like doing, you know what I mean, and you're like, yo, like I need the next level, man, because like you start hitting the ceiling, and you hit.
But you don't let that take away from today and your gratitude.
No, that's
fulfillment.
What I'm saying. Back I was driving down the shore, and I had that. I told you I had that fucking moment. You know what I mean? Like, if this is as good, like Big Joe says it, if this is as good as it get, I'm happy with it, man. You know what I mean? I'm happy with it, man. Like, my life is beyond my wildest fucking dreams, man. You know what I mean? What I've accomplished, what I have, and like, you know, like,
so you got your relationships, right? You have obviously materialistic things, vehicles, houses. You have your sobriety still, right? Like,
yeah.
So you have another child on the way. So
Yeah.
life is really good for you. And then like you got like you're still young. You have years to create, with your business and other businesses too.
Yeah.
And you're getting around some other people that are like minded. So like, you start rubbing off on each other. The possibilities are endless. Like you could partner with somebody, or someone could take you around, and this one connection could be the thing.
Opportunities, man.
Yeah. A lot of opportunities ahead.
Yeah. And I see you doing that a lot too, man. You're always at an event or moving and shaking and shit like
And
that.
I'd be burnt the fuck out. I don't even want to go. But I know, like, I'd rather sit home and pull up my laptop and do some, like, deep work. But I know I have to get out. And that should be burning me out sometimes.
I get lazy
My social battery dies, though. I got, like, an hour and I'm out.
That's me anywhere I go. Anywhere I go.
Unless there's food there.
Yeah, but still, as soon as I eat, I'm tired now. I eat, I want to go home and go to bed.
Bro be like, yo, come on, Lil, let's go get some pizza. Those wings right there.
Yeah, I need something. I need the fuel.
Yeah.
But were there a couple things on like your bucket list going forward? I know. I'm waiting for you to say it because you said it to me. If it's still on there.
What do you mean, like business, material?
Business.
Business.
Not just Pace, but in general.
Oh, I mean, we're gonna start getting into real estate, man. Start building and shit like that. Like that's one of my goals. That's been since I bought my house. I fucking gutted my house. I did all this shit, and I like, you know what I mean? I'm like, dude, like,
Now
I can see, yeah, not now what, but like I can see myself doing this, man. You know what I mean? Like, cause now it's like, cause know what happens? I looked at my house like, damn, I should have did this different. I should have did this. Like, I learned so much from redoing my fucking house.
Your house was already nice, but you just updated everything and moved some stuff around.
Yeah.
So where do you see yourself at in the next 5 years?
5 years?
Yeah.
40 by then.
Dang,
I'll be 40.
Oh, by then. I thought you was giving him 40 now.
No, I said by then. You were 40.
5-year goal. I'm gonna say we're on track doing in the business now. You know what I mean? Putting them systems and processes in place, and learning more how to grow a business that runs self-sufficiently.
Yeah. And that's just going to be like a cash flow thing where it's going to be you're probably getting a paycheck, letting that build up and grow itself, and then what are you going to free up to do, right? So like you want the business to be self-sufficient, then what are you going to do with your free time once it's self-sufficient?
Like I said, like just focus more on like the property aspect. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to be a landlord though. I don't think that's for me right now.
No.
Nah, man, because it's the slow game, and like I said, I like to move and shake, man. I'd rather have 18 builds going. Yeah, like all these flips going, and like I got guys coming here from here and here. I mean, opportunity presents itself, but like, numbers don't even make sense on a duplex right now, man. Look at him, he's like, I know. The numbers don't make sense in the rentals, dude. You look like, unless you're buying it cash and letting that cash, like, you know what I mean? You get an interest. By the time you get the interest and
taxes,
insurance, and your 20% down payment, right?
Yeah.
You're like, yo, I'm making $100 a month off a rental. You know, $100.
You're banking on appreciation.
Yeah, you're banking on appreciation. That's why a lot of people are selling their rentals now. A lot of people are on their portfolios now.
Well, do you know what it is? It's hard to keep up with the interest rates and the property values. So, say if your mortgage is $3,500, you got a duplex, you need to rent both of them out for $2,000 or $1,800. Like you got to try to find the right tenants.
Yeah. What about them 5 and 1 arms? I bet you a shit ton of people got one of them 5 and arms. What's that? 5 and 1 arms.
What?
It's a fluctuable mortgage, so it goes up and down with the current mortgage.
Yeah.
So like that was. You ever see that movie, The Big Short?
Mm-mm.
You never seen the movie, The Big Short?
No.
About the market crash in 2008, dude. How everybody was banking on the crash.
I gotta watch it.
Bro, so good. He's going around the dude's going around trying to figure out what's going on. He's an investor. He's going around trying to figure out what's going on, and he's going around, dude. At one point, he's in a strip club, and he's like talking to strippers. He's like, "So they gave you a loan?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "On all my properties," and so he sees like they don't know. Nobody knew nothing about what this deal was. How your rate it fluctuated with the rate.
Yeah.
Your loan fluctuated with the rate. So if the rate went up, your mortgage was more. So
wait, is this the guy that betted or something like that? He wound up coming up.
Yeah,
oh yeah. I seen
I
it.
think it was like billions of dollars.
Yeah, he came up.
You're signaling him now. I'm like pausing here. What are we running out of time here, though?
No. I'm just seeing how much time we were running for. We're good.
You can ask me. I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you. 7:08, dude.
7 or 8. No, I was seeing how long the podcast was so far, but we're good. We're good for time. We're good for time. No, I definitely got to see that movie. I don't really watch too many movies because
You'll love this one, bro.
I don't except sports where I can't get value out of it. Like I'll do sports and I'll really only do like Philly sports or like playoff games and stuff, but I can't watch TV for long, dude. I can't get in it.
You don't like a good movie? I mean, there hasn't been that many. Like, I appreciate a good movie because everything.
When I was upstate, I did because I have nothing else to fucking do. So I was watching Lincoln Lawyer. Like I didn't watch that until I went upstate.
Yeah.
Like I didn't watch a lot of stuff until I went upstate. But even out here, I was running around. I used to watch like The Wire and shit. But
that was one of the greatest shows ever.
you know, obviously fucking Sopranos, obviously Goodfellas.
I don't think I ever seen The Wire. Like,
I'm in a tracksuit right now.
yeah.
Prison Break. You don't remember Prison Break? Prison Break was that shit.
I saw that. He had the map of
Tattoos,
the jail
yeah.
tattooed on him. He had a whole body sleeve, and it was the map to get out of the prison.
Oh shoot.
Aaron, so what is something you would tell somebody that was you 10 years ago, right? That 25-year-old that couldn't just figure it out, that like didn't think it was possible, but they still had some hope, right? You still had hope even when you thought it wasn't possible. What would you tell that kid right now?
Like when I go up there and like I speak and I just like you like if somebody in this room wanted to tell me they want to be an astronaut, I believe they do because like you know what I mean. I never thought I could be where I'm at in life today, man. Not saying I'm on top of the fucking world, but like you know what I mean. I've accomplished some things. I've like you know my life is it's crazy, man. It's crazy and like that drive home that gratitude, man. That when that you know I don't get them waves a lot, man, but when I do, I feel a little emotion and it's like
Yeah.
It's a good feeling. So, think back about that 25-year-old. That's all I want you to do. I want you to think about that 25-year-old. Did you make him proud?
You trying to get me to break down? I know what
No,
you're trying to
no. I'm just saying. Think back to that 25-year-old.
I heard, yeah. Listen,
Would he be proud today?
yeah, and a lot of times I think what my mother and father would think too. You know what I mean? My grandfather. I think a lot of, you know what I mean? My brother. I think like, you know what I mean? Is my family proud, man? You know what I mean?
I know they'll be happy for you, man.
Because you know, I was counting out for a long time. Like it was just like inevitable. Like he's just gonna end up dead. You know what I mean? And now being able to be family.
I'm just gonna say two things, right? I want you to say two things that contribute to your success. What would those two things be?
Definitely my sobriety. Definitely my sobriety. Will, determination, family. I mean, like, there's so many things that can play a part in it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sobriety and you have the vision, right? You had
I mean,
belief.
that ain't enough to keep me sober.
The belief.
That ain't enough to get me where, you know what I mean?
Belief. You had to believe in yourself.
Yeah. I mean, there was doubt. I'm sure, like, the rest of us, there's always doubt sometimes it's going to work or, like, how long
How
it's gonna
about
last.
getting around the right people?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That 100%.
Yeah. You're a blessing, bro. I met you probably 4 or 5 years ago. It's been an honor. You introduced me to a lot of good people. You know, we're there to kick the shit and lean on each other. And, you know, we're both still young. We're not even 40 yet. And I think we're so hungry and we always want the next thing that we forget to relish in the moment. And the people that we're probably looking at that have the things or doing the things that we want, and we're doing really good for ourselves, but they're probably a lot older and got a lot more years in the game. So I will never beat yourself up and just keep looking back at that kid that you were and how far you came. If you're ever going to, I always say, like, if you're going to measure yourself to where you're not at, you always got to measure yourself from where you came from, because then that's going to put you right where you're supposed to be.
Philosophy, dropping gems.
Socrates. Aristotle.
Scholar.
Well, appreciate you, Aaron.
Appreciate you,
Anything
man.
else?
I got you, brother.
Anything else?
Huh?
Anything else? Where can they find you at? PaceRoofing.com. PaceRoofing Philly.